Y'all, I had to make, oh my god. Y'all, I had to remake this video because the first of all, I was too fucking noisy. I was talking like I had some type of dyslexia or an ADHD, because when I have something to express, I'm really passionate about it, my mind goes everywhere, and I really should start writing down the points of what I want to say. But it's just like one thing leads to another and leads to another, and I kind of just want to go based off memory, not memory, but like what's in my head. But that never works, and I feel like if I write it down, I know this sounds crazy, but I feel like if I write it down, it's gonna be backwards. So yeah, but anyways, welcome to another video. I have been wanting to make, well, like I said, I already made one earlier. Well, yesterday. It's 2 o'clock at night. Made one yesterday around 7, and I was about the new updates and what they're getting to Wizard101 and all that. And I've just been sitting back. Wait, before I say that, I love the updates. We're not going to be talking about spells, but I love the updates that they did with the world so far and the graphics and all that. Now, as far as spells, story, and as far as like the schools in general, and I've been sitting on this for a really long time. I mean, for about 3-4 years now. No, about 3 years, 3-4 years. Yeah, 3-4 years. And I've been watching other YouTubers talk about the schools and like which schools you should be. Obviously, it depends on your play style. Which schools should be what, how to balance each school, and about this recent update. My thing is, they really did like fuck every school over in general. Because aside from the update, I mean, should I even talk about the update with the spells? This is not the test room, by the way, obviously. Let me go to spells they did change real quick. Fire, they changed Fire Dragon. Instead of it being 440 plus 351, it's 600 flat plus 375, which is amazing, as it should be, because at the end of the day, we all know why we use Fire Dragon, is that a first initial hit to deal the most damage. Then over time, it's like, you know, aftermath. And especially a good spell when it comes to fighting people like Bellic, who you need to attack every round. To have somebody, you know, have 2 fires, one just attacking round and the other one save up, and then like, yeah, both can save up, or like whatever. Anyways, whatever. Tired of the point. They're revamping the shadow spells, which also makes sense, because shadow spells, if they're gonna do this much damage and they're rank 5 plus a shadow spell plus 1 shadow pip, imagine how that would be if you had like a rank 10 shadow pip spell, a rank 10 shadow spell. That would be so fucking, like, that would be overpowered. Like, the damage on that would probably be like 2,000. If that's the case, then the worlds will have to be harder, and the bosses and even the mobs will have to have more health. So, yeah, makes sense. They're obviously gonna get more shadow spells, and you know, and they're gonna follow the pattern of the regular spells. Like, that's obvious. It makes sense. I'm not pressed about that. Not pressed at all. What else they changed for fire? I'm going off the top of my head. I'm sorry. For ice, they changed Frost Giant. It's even lower damage now. Damn it. I'm just going to talk about the schools when I get there. For fire, that's all they changed as far as I'm concerned. Because I really didn't do much. Because I'm not really concerned about that. So, this video is mostly going to be about what they should do to make each school its own. Like, yeah, okay, it's cute. You know, a little over time, and you know, you may have like some tower shields. What is it? Abominable Weaver has what? -75 shield to the spell. What is that fucking Legion shield? Which I don't know. Do they learn that? Yeah, I think they do. Legion shield. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, I guess, that they have that, and like, you know. Myth has attack twice and means whatever. Not really. It's like they took the cheap route when it comes to, like, yeah, I understand when you first make the game, whatever. But it's been so long now I'm pretty sure people have said the same thing. It's got to the point where it's like, okay, you could have been, at least after 2 years into the game, you could revamp the schools. You see the flaws and all that, right? You work on the game every fucking day. Like, you should see, and you should know what's going on, regardless if you pay attention to what people are saying or not. I don't know. That's it for me. Maybe it's just me. I really care about my shit. But besides the point, they should really start doing something to make each school their own. Let's start with fire. Okay, so fire and storm is one and the same when it comes to like fucking dealing out damage, but the difference is fire is more so a blunt force. Like, think of Avatar. Fire, aggressive, passion, power when it hits, bitch. So if it does have an overtime spell, the first initial hit should do the most fucking damage. You know what I'm saying? Versus storm, where it's like, it's lightning, it's quick, fast, it's a barrage of attacks in a quick succession. That's where we should like draw the line and separate the two from each other, because storm is about power and attacking fast and quick, while fire is more like a big blunt force, like a big bitch swinging on your ass. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they should have the spells to where it do more damage. It do just as much damage as storm, if not more. And the gear should always, no matter which school you are, I don't care if you're storm. For fire, the fire gear should always be above. When it comes to damage, should always be the offensive. Well, yeah, the damage should always be above each school. It should be far more than each school, including storm. I mean, let's say fire gear has 10 damage. Storm should be like 5 damage. You know what I'm saying? Or, okay, 6, 7 damage. You know what I'm saying? Because to offset the fact that fire is such, then their spells do so much physical damage, their critical should be lower, to where like, even if they have like the best gear, they will never reach 100% accuracy. To offset that, the highest critical they can get is like 80 to 85. But they have a shit ton of damage, more than storm. When it comes to spells, storm should be, fire and storm should be equally. When it comes to like spell power, or very close, or like equal, like not your spell should do the exact same for both schools, but like, you know what I'm saying, power wise when it comes to the spell cards. Like, let's say you got Elephant over there, let's say it does 705 flat damage, and then you have a storm spell Titan. It might do 690 to where there's, and then to where, because I don't want it to be, it doesn't have to be the exact same, but like, you know, some spells might actually be like the exact same in power. Some spells might be the exact same in power for storm and fire. Like, let's say you got Ifrit that does 900, and then you got Leviathan that also does 900. Let's say I get Sunbird and it does 1,000 flat damage, and then got a storm that has storm out and it does 1,200 damage. And then once we level up and get new spells, the fire spell might do, you know, like 1,500, and then the storm spell might do 1,300, something like that. Fire is an offensive school, but unlike storm, fire is more so about power, getting power, being power hungry. Think of Dr. Doom when I say that, just like aggressive. And because of that, I feel like fires, like I said, the fire gear should have the most damage out of any school, and their spells should do as much as storm, if not more, sometimes. I'm basically saying in this part, and just in general, each school should have something to where it stands alone, to where it's not broken. We don't want to have a Abominable Weaver situation, because you also have to consider PvP as well. So have it to where each school is extremely amazing, but they stand on their own and they're unique, and each school has a pro and con, and it's not just like, oh, this school just obliterates all the other schools and that's just, it is what it is. Let's not do that, because I feel like when people talk about spells, they just talk about one side and they really don't think about what really goes on, because you got to consider PvP. Fire should focus on power, and that should be fine. Like, even if you did want to make it minus 70 and then add the plus 30 blade, just leave it at minus 90 then, and keep the damage is fine. It's fire, it's supposed to be damage. So, but yeah, as I was saying, as far as like look at this. This is a good example. Emily, you take 250 to deal 600. That's a really good stat. As well, like a actually really smart. Think of it as like a berserk, but fire should have its own version of berserk. When I say that, I mean like I said, fire is focused on power and damage. So therefore, fire should have a spell to where like you attack an opponent, but after you attack them, you get a plus 50% to all spells across the board for like the next 2 or 3 rounds. Cause I feel like that will also be a fucking awesome. And you also like, let's get to the point when we have fire just like completely go berserk, bitch. It goes like a spell called Berserker Rage. Right here, I'm talking about giving the schools, like I said, something that makes them unique. So when it comes to fire, give them something like I just said, Berserker Rage. But do you have to call it Berserker Rage? But it could be called Decimate, and it can be plus 50% boost to all fire's offensive stats plus their spells, or just to the fire offensive stats. And you can have something called Incinerate, to where it's plus 100% damage to all fire's offensive stats plus their spell damage, or like I said, it can just be to their offensive stats. But obviously it wouldn't be overpowered because you would have a score like Ice, to where it can be like something called Ice Wall, to where it's plus 50% to all ice defensive stats. So no spell, no matter how powerful it is, no spell in the game would be overpowered to where people just want to quit and just fed up with it. So no school can be god tier, and then you have all the other schools that completely fall below the waistline. We don't want to do that, but we want to give each school its own thing that makes it stand out and makes it to where each person has a reason, like a really valid reason to why they chose that specific school. And it's like, it casts a spell on them, it attacks them, and then you get fucking buffed the fuck out for the next 2-3 rounds. Or it's just an aura to where, and when aura is just like, instead of it like you attacking and it casts an aura to where it buffs you 50% or 75% to all spells, and it buffs your blades too, we're just gonna give like, okay, or just a fucking aura called Rager's Berserker or something like that, and it boosts 80% fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's go fucking all out. Let's do that. Like 100% to all spells and damage, and like it lasts for 2 rounds. Ah, bitch. Now you can't tell me that wouldn't be good. Like fire should have more spells. Overtime is great. Keep the overtime. But it should have more spells where it focus on rage. Ooh, what's that? What's that? Judge me! Judge me! Oh God, please judge me! Judge me, don't judge me, judgment! Please! Get some proper, some straight. Let me not. But kiss my ass. But as I was saying, fire should really focus on that. Like I said, that +3, perfect. That's fine. Take from Emulate, you know what I'm saying? Have spells to where like it will fucking buff the shit out of you, but sometimes it might come at a cost, like I said. So, but not every time though. I feel like if it comes at a cost every time, don't really like that. I feel like if you might have some spells to where like you attack an opponent, you may put like a smoke screen on them, and it buffs you for 3 rounds plus 50 to all spells, but after you're done, after that buff goes away, you might be susceptible for, you might have no resist for the next round. You know what I'm saying? Like no resist for the next round or 2. That would be a good way to balance that, to where it's not too crazy. So, did I say everything on fire? I hope I did. It's gonna be a 2-part video, because when I looked at my last video, bitch, I spent 30 minutes. Probably because I broke my shit up, but whatever. Yeah, did I say everything? Yeah. Okay, moving on to Storm. As we said, Storm and Fire are both one and the same. because as far as focused on blunt forces, Storm should be Storm should be focused on quick, fast, powerful hits in a barrage, like a barrage, like lightning bolt. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember, y'all. Took it a minute. Lightning bolt. That's a good example. Or when it comes to like, but what makes them different? Because like, yeah, you sacrifice fire. You will sacrifice something, or like you might sacrifice some health for power. Whereas Storm, you sacrifice. Well, you don't sacrifice anything. It just comes up to the game of chance because it comes up to the game of chance. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm talking really fast, which I'm a fast talker naturally, and I have to work on that. And on top of the fact that I have so many thoughts at once, and it gets so jumbled up, I can't verbally speak as fast as I think, if that makes sense. I don't know if oh my god, see? I don't know. It's like my mind jumps like 10,000, goes 10,000 miles ahead of what my mouth can. But I don't know if anyone is into astrology, but I am the most ungrounded Capricorn ever. I know this is a side note, but I'm majority air signs. When you couple the fact that I have Aquarius, I have like 4 Aquarius in my birth chart. On top of the fact that I have a Libra in my birth chart, and I also have Pisces in my birth chart and Scorpio in my birth chart. Okay, something has to give. So I'm sorry if I seem like I'm jittery and I keep saying like, or because I had to cut that out a lie and saying, you know what I'm saying. I keep saying that a lie as well. I'm sorry for that. I don't mean. I'm sorry. I know it's annoying, but what I was saying with Storm is that Storm, unlike Fire, Storm is a game based on chance. So Lightning Bolt or Insane Bolt, and Storm is also a school that's based on power, but more so striking fast and hard within a quick succession. So that's why Storm should focus more so on critical, and their attacks should focus more so on pierce and striking the opponent down, unlike Fire. So you have a chance of hitting opponent from 10 damage to 10,000 damage, and you get like, and it also pierces their armor as well. That's what I'm saying when it comes to Storm. I know it might not be as clear when speaking throughout the rest of this video about Storm, but that's what I mean. Storm should be a game based on chance and pierce and hitting the opponent fast and hard. I talk really fast. Lightning strikes. Think of lightning strikes. Lightning, when you think of Storm, you think of lightning, right? And lightning is random. It doesn't hit one spot. The exact shit. It doesn't hit the same spot 10 times. You know what I'm saying? It might hit it once, twice, and that might be it forever. Or it might hit another spot 5 times. You know what I'm saying? Or it might hit it another spot 1 time. So like Storm should be focused on chance and power and getting hits out quick. Like I said, they updated shadow spells. Squall. I mean, it's fine. I personally think, yeah, okay, it's starting for spell. They should make it at least. I don't know what they made it. If they made it 900, that's fine. Oh shit, what? Oh no! They fucked up Sirens. They should keep Sirens the exact same. The bitch is fine. Or if you go update Sirens, keep her damage the same and give her better utilities. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a rank 9 spell. Why would you make it way less powerful than Stormlord? Like, make it make sense. And Stormlord is ranked 7 spell. Sirens should be more powerful. Like, stop fucking with their power. That's annoying. Like, it doesn't make damn sense at all. Any damn sense at all. But yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Storm should be focused on like, take Insane Bolt and Lightning Bolt examples. Lightning Bolt will strike an opponent from like what, 50 to like 1,000 damage. Perfect. And Insane Bolt, you have a chance of like fucking obliterating your opponent or obliterating yourself. Perfect. I feel like they should do more with that. You know what I'm saying? Take it to the next level. Like, you might have a spell that does like Insane Bolt that will completely fucking obliterate you, even if you have shield. If you don't have, well, even if you have shields on, You gotta be really cautious with Storm, because Storm is like fast and quick. That's the difference. Storm is quick, and Storm is meant to barrage you with attacks. So they should have like spells to where, oh, let's say you cast a spell and it attacks all opponents, and it gives, but one opponent might not be stunned. But the opponents that are stunned for like 2 rounds. You see what I'm saying? Like, may have one that's stunned for 2 rounds, one that might be stunned for 1 round, or one that might not be stunned at all. That, or you can have it like, shit, Storm might have a spell to where it's a 50% chance of it either double critically. Now we should implement double critical. And that should be across the board, but mostly for Storm, like double critical. You might have a chance of double critical and doing more damage. That's why I said we should focus more on damage for Fire and more critical for Storm, because Storm have less damage, but it has a chance of double critical. And but if that's the case, then you're really gonna have to fix the King's Eye. You will have to fix the block system, because otherwise that'll be too powerful and no one can really counteract that unless you're fucking Ice. And that wouldn't be fair at all. Or Life, because they brought back Rebirth. Not Rebirth. Yeah, Rebirth. Rejuvenate. Bitch, what the fuck? The Angel Wings. Guardian Spirit. Shit. But yeah. Like I said, they're going to have to be revitalized. If they was to do what I'm telling them to do, they would have to change a lot of stuff around to make the game better, in my opinion. But it should be focused on like chances and power and hitting them fast and quick and in a hurry, to where like, okay, you got a Storm, you got an enemy that's like 10,000 health. Storm should be able to take them down within like fucking 2 rounds. Where Fire, you gotta build up a little bit. Storm, it can just like attack them, constantly attack them, not really too much. Have to worry about blading too much. They might put like a 2 or 3 chops on them and boom, get down 2,000 health, because they constantly keep hitting. And that the spell that, let's say they have a spell like an upgraded lightning bolt. It's a lightning bolt and a insane bolt, to where like you have a chance to hitting 500 damage to 10,000. It's really random. It's up to chance. It's like you never know, and that's what it is. And it should be like, you know what I'm saying, like 6 pips, and it just like hits them. Stuff that gets quick, and stuff that like will stun them. That way you can get more damage in, or like attacks that you will attack the opponent and it will give you buffs. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, Storm is about getting hits quick, and you don't want your other opponent to hit you, because you may be powerful, but yet you're still Storm and you have no fucking health and no defense. And that's their point. That's why I should say Storm should have like double critical. Storm should have like, yeah, double critical, or like something to where like their spells might hit twice. You know what I'm saying? Let's say they use Sirens and then it does, let's say Siren does 900 damage, right? And they might have a chance of Sirens either hitting again, or Sirens might sing a song to where like it casts a lightning bolt on them and it does an additional 1,000 damage. But 1,000 damage is not just flat out 1,000 damage. It will, at the blades that you have, will also boost that 1,000 damage. It will boost the initial Siren spell plus that 1,000 damage. So it might do, and the auras you have too. So it might do, instead of 1,000, it will do probably 2,000 base damage. And then if you critical, bitch, it might end up doing like 4,000, 3,000 or 4,000. 3,000 or 4,000. Yeah. To where it hits twice. That makes the most sense, right? Okay. And lastly, for this elemental schools. Yeah, Ice. What I've seen in the videos, they really fucked up Ice. Of all schools, well, not all schools, but like one school that really fucked up was Ice. Because when it comes to ice is about defense, tanking. Out of any school, ice should have the easiest time soloing, mostly because they have the fucking highest health. And I probably should have went to each school for this, because the aesthetic. But I should have the most. Let me say my Lydia, Grandma, and I should have the, obviously they have the most health, which is fine. The health is perfect. The accuracy is perfect, but their damage. I understand they're supposed to be a tank, but it's a tank. A tank should still do a decent amount of damage. And when it comes to ice, they nerfed Frost Giant even more, like by 15%, I think. Hold me, cause I forgot the initial damage, but they nerfed fucking Frost Giant. Why? My thing is, if you're gonna buff every school in damage wise, either buff ice or keep ice the same and give them spells with more defense, or give them gear with more defense, far more defense than anybody else. Yeah, no, I'm saying fire gear should have the most damage, storm gear should have the most critical, ice gear should have the most defense. Period. That's how it should be with the spirit schools. That's to balance them out. And the spirit ghouls, they got Pokemon when those the ice bird, the lightning bird, and fire, I forgot their names, bitch. They were fighting. None of them could take one of each other down because they were equally matched. And that's how I feel like they should also look at it, not just versus, not just PvE, but PvP. Fire should be able to handle ice pretty easy. Ice should be able to defend against storm pretty easy. Storm should be able to handle fire pretty easy. Like, they all should be able to handle each other pretty fairly. I don't want to say easy, fairly. You know what I'm saying? PvP wise is what PvP wise. Also think about that. They have to handle each other pretty oh my god, pretty fairly. So they would have to change a lot of shit around. Quite a bit. To balance it out. And I don't know if King's Out is willing to do that, but hey, these are my thoughts. But Fire School, I mean, my thing is they're changing Ball and Weaver. Yeah, okay, the damage makes sense. But I guess minus 50, but okay, minus 50. But the next spell should have a minus 65 or minus 75 between that, because it makes sense. Fire, I mean, balance. Shit. Ice spells should be focused more on defense, so they spells should have to where, like, opposite of fire, instead of having a spell where it attacks them and it boosts them, it'll attack them and give them a defensive buff. Like, they may have a not only, but the aura can stack though. You have to mind that. So that's what I should have said. Let's say let's say ice has a, what is it? Is it fortify? If ice has two defense, if ice naturally has the defensive aura around it, it can stack with the aura that it gets from a spell. But if it has an offensive like it has Sleet Storm, it can't stack. It will swap it. So let's keep that in mind to balance that out. But I should have it to where, like, if they have a fortify, oh, let's say this new level 7 Shadow Pip spell, it attacks the opponent, but give ice a minus 50% or a minus 30% 30% resist shit from all schools for the next 4 to 5 rounds, and it stacks on top of fortify. Or if that's too fucking much, it doesn't have to stack. If that's too much, it doesn't have to stack. It was just thought. But yeah, to where it gives them more defensive buffs. And their spells should have it to where these spells would, I like stun, that makes sense. Stunning them, yeah, it should stun them. That's why these spells, the higher, more, they can change some of these spells that are lower level, but it doesn't really. I mean, but we're going from here on out, like, a lot of schools should have, like, to where they get, I want King's Out to get comfortable using, like, spells may have 3 utility spells. Some spells might have 4. Some spells might have 2. You know what I'm saying? Because they love sticking with just having a 1 utility spell. You know what I'm saying? Minus 75% to next damage spell. a target loses 3 pips. Like when they first of all, the Azteca spells. Come on now, 3 pips. What the fuck is that? 1 pip. Social count is minus 1 pip. What? Well, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Revamp the Azteca spells. But yeah, stuns. I like that. They should have spells that give, like, it might give double the shield. They might be able to. The shield might not be able to. Okay, yeah. They should have spells where, like, it might give them a Legion shield, a plus 40, or it can be like a plus 40 to the next 2 ongoing spells. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know. If you have a certain aura around you, and the person attacks you while this aura around you that lasts 2 rounds, you get a boost in defense after the aura's gone off of you for the next 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Something like, let's play around with that. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But yeah, as far as ice, if you're gonna buff every school, buff ice. If you're gonna buff every school, buff ice. Give them more damage. Just give them a little more damage. It ain't gotta be fucking shit crazy. Just a little more damage. Like, that won't hurt anybody. Alright. Whew. I think that's... Okay, I just realized what I said. Yeah, you can give them more damage, but that also means you have to give other schools more damage. But I didn't realize how strong ice was, actually, with the more recent gear in PvP. So, I don't know. But you feel like you should feel like you should give them more power, but just don't nerf their power. Either keep it the same or give them more, is what I'm saying. And if, like I said, I realized what I was saying. So if they're too powerful, just keep the power the same then, and just give everybody just like a small boost compared to, well, obviously ice is meant to be really weak and have a lot of defense, so yeah, just keep it the same. It for elemental schools. So part 2, I'll be talking about the spirit schools and balance. Well, balance in the spirit schools.